I'm so excited. We can take that GPS location and quickly transfer it to the drone, and the drone will fly right there. And, especially if you're flying within 3 minutes, the animal's almost always there. But even after 10 minutes, 85% of the time, the animal will be at that location, or you can, take the camera and just rotate the drone around and you find them right away.
The most important part of any game is being there. Enjoy more flexibility with your time thanks to the wider application window and enhanced performance of SphereX fungicide, made to show up when it counts. agsolutions.ca.
I'm Amber Bell, and this is Real Agriculture, here today at the first annual Ag Drone Summit in Camrose, Alberta, getting the chance to speak with Dr. John Church, who's a professor of natural resource science at Thompson Rivers University. Welcome, Dr. Church. It's great to see you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, you have been working with drones for quite a while, but we're also going to be talking e-collars for cattle, and that's been a huge deal in the last little bit. So tell me a little bit about your work with the collars and with the drones.
Yeah, I've been working with virtual fencing collars for the last 4 years and using drones for over 10 years now. And both of those technologies have really matured. Both of those have been around in the case of virtual fencing collars, that concept's been around for 30 years. But it's only been in these last 5 years where I think the technology's matured to the point that it's really farmer ready and can be implemented by just about anyone. And I see it for the ranches I'm seeing use the technology. It's transforming the ranch. It's really a game changer.
Now we'll start off with the collars. There are a few questions I have surrounding these. First off, what do the economics look? Because I think that's been a big question. Is it even worth it? Yeah.
So on the surface, when you start looking at the collar themselves, they're somewhere between $300 and $400, depending on the number of collars that you buy. There's usually a discount if you get past a certain number, like 50, as well as how are you going to connect those collars. So if you're connecting to a cell phone tower versus if you don't have cell coverage, you'll have to put up your own what's called LoRa tower, and those charges vary a little bit. So there's also a monthly surcharge for the collars. But if you start looking at the economics of replacing hard capital fences, then it really makes a lot of sense. One of the ranches I'm working on, they were grazing on Crown Range, and their traditional barbed wire fence got burned up in the Crater Hill fire, and the cost to replace the fencing was estimated at somewhere over $500,000. Now, we were able to do the exact same thing using virtual fencing collars for $86,000. And even if you amortize that, it really starts making a lot of economic sense. But then you get all of the other benefits of being able to move the cows. We've had a tremendous gained a lot of experience moving the cattle around on the landscape for rotational grazing, regenerative agriculture, but also gathering the animals up when they're out on range and bringing the animals home. Traditionally, you'd have to saddle up horses and go out, and you can miss them by 100 meters. My master's student brought 148 head down the mountain by himself. And it's the first time in over 50 years that they didn't lose a single animal, and they all got brought home on the first pass.
Now, what's the lifespan on the collars?
Well, they advertise somewhere between 5 to 8 years. They're under warranty. And when you even pencil out the economics on that, a lot of our fences on Crown Range in BC, I think the same is true in Alberta, there's a lifespan. A lot of these fences were built in the 70s and 80s, and a lot of them are aging out. So they'll last a lot longer. I've got another master's student that's really took a deep dive, and if you're in the 50 to 200, even the 500 head range, collars generally will outperform traditional fencing. If you scale up really huge, couple thousand head, then the traditional fencing probably it's a better business case.
And how accurate are they at holding the animals in, especially if there's pressure, let's say predatory pressure, or even just, hey, my calf went missing?
Well, what we're finding, remember, even traditional fences, they don't contain the animals 100% of the time. We're finding remarkable containment we're getting up to 98% containment, which is at least as good as or better than a traditional barbed wire fence. When you get a breach, as I've explained, they get a tone and then electric shock, and the animals, they have to be trained, but it's a pretty relatively easy training procedure, and they remember it year over year. So animals that got trained in the first year, we're finding in the second year, the third year, they don't have to be trained again. It's amazing, and the amount of current, somewhere between 20 and 40% than what they would get out of a traditional electric fence. And they respect it, but you know, we have some animals that are constantly checking the barrier, so they're not afraid of it. Occasionally a cow gets out, but if she comes back, she doesn't get shocked on the return. You can quickly set up another fence. Like you know that. You can alert and you can put another barrier in front of her. We've never had a cow go past the second barrier.
Let's talk about that as well. So if a cow gets out,
Yep.
is she able to get back in?
Yeah, she doesn't get zapped when she comes back. So it's an easy trip back.
It's a one-way.
It's a one-way, yeah.
And you've also been doing some work integrating drones with the collars. Now talk to me a little bit about this.
I'm super excited about that. You know, I saw some young people in a school ground with an old Parrot drone. They don't even make them anymore, but I realized quickly, oh my God, these kids can see what the drone can see with their phone. And imagine if I immediately thought, I know ranch, Douglas Lake Ranch, they would, you know, contract helicopters to try and find lost animals. And I thought if ranchers could have a drone, they could use the drone to try and find lost cattle. That gets to be pretty tough, especially if it's forested. It's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack. Yeah, if you got thermal, you can see them through the canopy and everything else. But man, if you know the GPS location, I'm so excited. We can take that GPS location and quickly transfer to the drone, and the drone will fly right there. And, you know, especially if you're flying within 3 minutes, the animal's almost always there. But even after 10 minutes, 85% of the time, the animal will be at that location, or you can, you know, take the camera and just rotate the drone around and you find them right away. So this ability, and it doesn't matter if the cow is 800 meters away, 8 kilometers away, I can boost that to 25, even 50 kilometers with a range extender. So basically all of the issues, battery life, you know, the battery isn't an issue anymore. They can fly anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. If you need to, you can quickly bring the drone back so fast, swap the battery, go again. So they've solved the range, they've solved the battery problem. And I'm really a big fan of having the drone in a box. They call it the Dock 2 or the Dock 3. Now you can operate the drone remotely by laptop. So you can quickly take the GPS coordinate. Imagine you can just see any cow on your ranch or on your range just by typing in or copy paste, just copy the GPS coordinate from the one piece of software, paste it in, hit one button, execute, the drone flies right there.
That's incredible. Is there any technology upgrade that you are hoping for in the near future?
Any technology upgrade? You know, I really love the thermal integrated with the zoom. The zoom is amazing. 400 times optical zoom. The LiDAR and the multispectral is really good for pasture. What I'm hoping for is there isn't right now a drone that can do both. Mm-hmm. So I want the ability to quickly take a multispectral and LiDAR and multispectral camera and attach it onto the same drone that I'm using to search for my lost cattle. They don't quite have that, but I can do LiDAR, I can do multispectral to assess the pasture. But what I want to see in the future is a drone that can do it all.
Some exciting stuff coming up, and really exciting to hear drones working with the collars. So it's wonderful to get to chat with you, Dr. Church. And that was Dr. John Church on Real Agriculture.
For the latest ag news, agronomic advice, and more, check out realagriculture.com and Real Ag Radio.